back. Try to tell you, man. You better start listening to me, man. You ain't start listening. Everybody want to share nonsense.
Bluetooth mode.
Everybody want to share nonsense. What's up, Benji? Fuck it is, man. Try to tell people about these radicals, man. Yo, do y'all think I just be talking? Like, I really do a survey, man. How many people think I just be on this bitch talking? With no real, with no real motive behind it. What's up, Shalonda? Yeah, I just find it so funny. So funny. That when we was telling everybody, yo, white radicalism, something need to be done about it. They had so much to say. Now I ain't got nothing to say. and my exact words was, all I was gonna do is happen again. Why should it happen again? You ain't gonna be saying the same thing now. Y'all remember them conversations? Do y'all remember the conversations when I was telling people it's gonna happen again, man? And now we got 2 shootings in a day. And these was done by former Army vets. These are people that supposed to have been protect the United States interests. They might have felt betrayed, man. A lot of people that go to the army feel betrayed. They realize that they fighting for a agenda that doesn't benefit them, or fighting for a false narrative. I had somebody come in the comments a couple days ago talking about, yo, was this built on a lie? Like, you didn't know that? And the crazy thing about this, right? Yo, if people would have listened to black Americans, I think we'd have been a lot further ahead, yo. If the government wasn't able to successfully manipulate the people and to think that black people just was complaining and it wasn't no real issues, yo, we probably could avoid a lot of the bullshit that goes on. What the fuck is she doing? Yo, we've been telling people, man, it ain't what you think. It ain't what you think. So, the shooting that happened in Southport, what was that? Listen to this shit, y'all. Listen to this. Five fucking dead.
Gunmen opened fire this
in Michigan.
In Blanc, Michigan, during a church service. More people have been confirmed dead, with at least 4 bodies found and 8 people wounded. Terrell Bailey has more.
The violence unfolded shortly after 10 Sunday morning at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Grand Blanc, Michigan. A gunman rammed his truck into the building where a church service was going on and opened fire using what authorities say was an assault rifle.
The service was active. There was hundreds of people within the church.
Authorities say at least 4 people were killed.
Let me say we are heartbroken. This kind of violence doesn't happen in our community, and we are heartbroken that it came to Grand Blanc Township.
The gunman was killed by police. Authorities believe the gunman, a 40-year-old Michigan man, intentionally set fire to the church. The fire quickly spread, engulfing the entire structure in flames. before it was eventually brought under control. Authorities say the search continues for more victims.
So we're working tirelessly to find additional bodies. The entire church has not been cleared because it's a total loss due to the fire. So these first responders right now, they're in recovery mode. They're trying to fight through all the debris.
At a Sunday evening press conference, officials hailed the bravery of those gathered in the church when the gunman opened fire.
I'd also like to acknowledge the heroism of not only the first responders, but the people who were inside that church at the time. They were shielding the children who were also present within the church, moving them to safety. Just hundreds of people just practicing their faith.
Authorities say they believe the gunman acted alone and are working now to determine a motive. Terrell Bailey, CBS News, Grand Blanc, Michigan.
Now, yo, the reason why, what's up, Major? Yo, the reason why I be doing these videos is I just want the people to know that it was false narratives put on black people, yo. Crime isn't a race. You understand what I'm saying? You can't put crime on one particular race, man. And people need to understand that. But people that push that narrative, talked about it amongst their family, and really looked at a group of people a certain way just based off a narrative. When crime happens everywhere, amongst all people, yo. And the crazy thing about it is, when it come down to this government and shit like that, yo, when we was telling people how fucked up the government was, they thought we was complaining. Now they seeing it. That's why you got army men crashing out. What's up with the other dude at? What page is this? Let's check the page out. They both was war veterans. I think they were sold the lie.
Please click to subscribe. I wanted to give the latest on two really heartbreaking.
Just extreme courage, brave, and that's the type of community that we are.
So at some point during the shooting, police...
Hold on. They both was war veterans, yo. Yeah, but you hear this from a lot of war veterans. They jump into these wars. They jump into the army, thinking that they're doing this for the country and they're doing this for the people. Then they find out quickly that I don't know if that's necessarily true, man. You know what I mean? A lot of army veterans get treated bad, and if people will listen to black people, do you know that when black people fought in them wars, World War I, World War II, they came back broke. They came back and didn't get treated the same as white people that fought in them wars. But when you explain that shit to people, they act like it didn't exist. You know what I mean? Yeah, they been pushing the lie, man. They been ain't care. But like I always tell you, it's people, yeah, for real. They been ain't care. But people don't see it until it started affecting them personally. Once it started affecting them, seeing their family or their friends go through it, then that's when they start caring. But my thing is, if people would have cared, when we was telling y'all, we'd probably been a lot further here. I know we would have been. It wouldn't have been this much division. And it's like, even with now, people can see it and they still don't get it. They still don't get they was lied to and they was preyed on. Hold on.
Sanford set
the church on fire, and some people may not have been shot to death, but may have actually burned to death. That is something that is still under investigation right now. The investigators say that there could have also been several different explosions involved.
At this point, I'm not going to comment on IEDs. I will confirm that there were some suspected explosive devices that were located. But as far as using them to initiate the blaze, I can't say that. This scene is actively being investigated by ATF.
So the latest is the FBI says the shooting is being investigated as what they call, it was called an act of targeted violence. And what's really disturbing is there have now been other bomb threats at other churches, and police are now encouraging other people in the area to be alert. That came up at the latest police briefing, where they made a point of saying they've been investigating now other bomb threats.
The Michigan State Police continues to respond to several locations throughout the community as we receive additional bomb threats at other locations. Please continue to stay vigilant, and if you see something suspicious, say something.
So that shooting started at 10:25 a.m. It was about 10:25 a.m. Sunday morning. Again, it was the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in a small town about 50 miles north of Detroit. It's called Grand Blanc. I think that's how you say it. I'm sure if I said it wrong, you guys will let me know in the comments. But it's 50 miles north of Detroit. Hundreds of people apparently were attending the service. What is amazing is police were there. This is incredible. You hear about response times at all of these different awful shootings that I cover, but this, I've never heard of anything like this. Police were at the scene within 30 seconds of the shooting. And at the press conference, someone asked, so like, was there an officer at the church? How were they there so quickly? They didn't answer that question, but they did say that there was a police officer there within 30 seconds of the shooting, and that they killed the shooter just 8 minutes later. So the officer got there 30 seconds after the first gunshots at 10:25, and then it was 8 minutes later, I think it was at 10:33 a.m. that they killed the shooter. Because of the fire, there could still, this is another really sad part, like because of the, they're still looking through the rubble and the whole place burned. They say that there could still be victims that they haven't found yet, and there are some people who were reported missing.
Yo,
If you're looking this
what the fuck did the Mormon church do, man? JB, what it is? Yo, like, why are they target the Mormon church? Yo, that shit crazy. That man drove his car into the church, set it on fire. So far, 5 people dead. It was kids in there, man. There's kids in there. I think, a lot of these things happen, when you fall too deep into politics. I don't know how white people fell this deep into politics. I know I said it a few times, but I need somebody to explain that shit to you. Like, how did y'all fall this deep? I hate this goddamn thing. Hold on. How did y'all fall this deep into politics? For real. I don't even think, I think what happens is they realize they were sold a lie. I always tell y'all that that's one of the hardest things to come to grips with. When you believe something for so long, and then you realize that you was lied to. That's why a lot of the people, I ain't gonna say most, that's why some people in the white community don't want to acknowledge the fact that, America fucked over black people. They refuse to acknowledge it. You understand? They refuse to acknowledge the fact that America fucked over black people intentionally. They say you playing a victim or you making excuses. Even when all the facts is there. Irrefutable. You can give irrefutable facts, and people will still deny it, act like it didn't happen. Say you playing a victim. don't even know what that is, Jake. But my thing is, people would have listened when we were saying it, yo. I think.
If you're looking to spruce up the outside of your house, these are the coolest things.
I think we'd be a lot further ahead as people.
Each box comes with
place burned. They say that there could still be victims that they haven't found yet, and there are some people who were reported missing.
So, as I said, we're working around the clock now. So, we're working tirelessly to find additional bodies. So, to answer your question, the entire church has not been cleared because it's a total loss due to the fire. So, these first responders right now, they're in recovery mode. They're trying to fight through all the debris from the fire. So, no, we have not cleared the entire church just yet.
So the shooter is again is 40-year-old.
That's the problem, though, JR. People haven't figured that out. People haven't figured that out, and it's because of these. It's because of these parties. Motherfuckers got to detach themselves from them bitches mentally. Yo, people is mentally attached to these motherfucking parties, man. It's ridiculous.
Iraq War veteran Thomas Jacob Sanford. Sanford's truck, he rammed into the church. It had two big American flags behind the cab and a set of deer antlers attached to the bumper. The picture was all over X today. The New York Post reports that a Facebook post by Sanford's mother, I believe it said that the gunman who died at the scene in the shootout with cops had served in Iraq from 2004 to 2008. He was a Marine Corps veteran, and there was a Marine Corps spokesperson who spoke to CNN who said that Sanford served as a sergeant, received several medals for his service, and his service went on from 2004 to 2008. He was deployed during Operation Iraqi Freedom for several months.
He probably couldn't get good health care, right? That man was a sergeant, got several medals, and he probably needed a surgery or something. Couldn't even get it. Who knows? Who knows? Somehow he's radicalized to a point where you killing innocent people. But like I told y'all, like I've been telling y'all, yo, we've been dealing with radicalization in this country for a long, long time. It's just been going largely unignored. Like things like this can be stopped. You know what I mean? Like this is not a economic. What's up, Black Monster? It's not economic, yo. These are people being radicalized and making conscious decisions to perpetuate violence on innocent people.
In the summer of 2007, there are also social media accounts linked to Sanford's family.
Everybody
that show that he was married with at least one child. He had a young son. And this is sad. According to a GoFundMe page, this is from back in 2015. The family was in need of donations to help pay for the medical care of Sanford's son, who was born.
Look, I knew something medical behind it. Yo, but we not showing no sympathy. You know what I mean? Now it's sad. She always been sad, man. It ain't just start getting sad. You see how, yo, when they cover these stories, they always try to give them sympathy. Yo, but I done seen black kids 15 years old get life in prison. 16 years old get life in prison. They don't get no sympathy though. I done seen kids be born in a fucked up situation. Born in a fucked up situation. Their life is already set out for them for the most part. They gonna have to fight hard as hell, yo, for their life not to go the direction it's destined to go. If they don't get sympathy, they call them super predators. And they need to be taken off the streets. But with these situations, they get sympathy. Yo, make sure, are we clear? If we're not clear, y'all, please say something. Y'all don't have us not being clear, don't say nothing.
With a rare genetic disorder. So just a terrible, terrible situation in Michigan. All of it's still under investigation. The fire especially complicated things, and just the thought that there could still be more victims in the rubble. So I'll stay on top of that one. Then there was another awful shooting over the weekend. This was in Southport, North Carolina. And if you've ever been to Southport, it's a beautiful, beautiful sea town. 3 people were killed there. 8 people were injured. Coastal town right along the water there. It's about 30 miles from Wilmington, North Carolina. It's the kind of town, literally, I've been there once. When I was there, it reminded me of like the kind of place that you would see in a Hallmark movie, not the kind of place that this would have happened. Authorities say it was a premeditated attack. And what's different about this mass shooting, unlike anyone I've ever covered before, is the mass shooter actually was shooting from a boat, according to police. He shot at a waterfront bar where people were eating and drinking and just enjoying the weekend. Suddenly this boat comes up, it's a center console boat, and the suspect started shooting from the boat.
The incident location where this occurred, the American Fish Company, which I've already indicated to you was quite literally the backdrop for the movie Safe Haven, had live music going on last night. There is an outdoor deck which faces the water, and there was a lot of people out there last night just enjoying live music under the stars. The thread that connects everyone who's a victim in this case to this point just appears to be a love of having a good time and enjoying all that Southport has to offer.
Reports came in rapidly of a boat sitting in the waterway. Reports of a subject shooting multiple patrons of the establishment.
So the suspect in that North Carolina case is named Nigel Edge. We are told that he's 40 years old. He's from a place called Oak Island, which, to my understanding, is not very, very far away. Police did not elaborate on why they know that the attack was targeted, but they say it is clear that it was a targeted attack. They said that Edge was on a small boat, again, close to the shore, right along the area lined with bars and restaurants when he started shooting. And then he actually took off on the boat. He went on the run in the boat, and the Coast Guard spotted him. This was roughly about 30 minutes later, according to investigators. It was the Coast Guard who spotted him at a public boat ramp. Investigators. It was the Coast Guard who spotted him at a public boat ramp.
Last night, our witnesses that were on the scene observed a white center console boat travel south or southwest, leaving the area. Our Coast Guard partners were patrolling along with our sheriff's office and encountered a boat down at the 55th Street boat access in Oak Island.
All right, move up some, yeah.
The officers got out and made contact with Mr. Edge, and as a result of that, during the investigation, he was detained and taken into custody.
So he is now charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder. It was 5 counts of attempted first-degree murder and 5 counts of assault with a deadly weapon. Unlike the situation in Michigan, he is alive, and obviously more charges could be added. I would suspect more charges likely will be added. Police say that he used an assault rifle. And again, like the situation in Michigan, authorities say that Edge is a combat veteran. They say that he was injured in the line of duty and suffers from PTSD.
We understand this suspect.
There we go. There you go with the excuses. And you don't think these kids, yo, that's out here living in violence, you don't think they're suffering PTSD too? Why I just don't understand why we don't ever get them that grace. Why we don't ever get the kids grace that grew up in poverty, you know, lights being cut off, ain't no food in the house, friends being murdered. Police corruption. And why we don't never say they got PTSD? You think that's normal? You think that's normal for the human brain to endure, yo, for an extended amount of time? You don't think that affects what you're thinking? You know? You don't think that shapes your reality? Like, we don't never give them people the same grace. Ever. Ever. But I'm gonna tell you it does. It's a fact. You grow up, yo, you losing friends daily, yo, that shit fuck with your mental, man. You might start looking at life different. Not everybody, because, everybody's mental capacity is different. But it's enough for it to be a problem. It's enough for it to be called out and for it to be explained. But nobody ever does that, I ain't never heard a situation where a young kid got arrested, or a 20-year-old, 25-year-old that grew up in poverty got arrested, and they made that excuse for him. I done heard defense attorneys tried, but that shit gets struck down every motherfucking time. It's almost pointless to even say.
Identifies as a combat veteran. He self-identifies injured in the line of duty is what he's saying. He suffers from PTSD. We want to point those facts out. But again, the bottom line is that I want to assure our community that we feel like we do have our suspect in custody.
So police say that Edge was known to hang out at the pier and had filed, this is bizarre, but he had filed these lawsuits against the town and police department over the last few years. And it seems like he was well known to authorities, sort of like one of those guys that had been causing trouble with these lawsuits, and police officers had seen him around. According to the New York Post, one lawsuit filed against a church. He filed it against a church claiming that they were behind a civil conspiracy. That's the way he phrased it, a civil conspiracy by the LGBTQ community and white supremacist pedophiles to kill him because he is a straight man. That's what he put into the lawsuit. He also filed a lawsuit against a hospital, accusing it of being part of a conspiracy launched by LGBTQ white supremacists who were out to get him because he survived their attack in Iraq. Again, those are the things that he put in the lawsuit, so it sort of shows his mental state. Both of those lawsuits were dismissed. And this is another really strange element to this. Edge was seen on the red carpet with American Idol star Kelly Pickler at the Country Music Awards back in 2012. Yes, he went to the Country Music Awards with Kelly Pickler in 2012. Apparently, like as an injured veteran, through some program, he was able to go with her.
Let's blame country music. Shit. Is country music the culprit? I just be wanting to show y'all the hypocrisy, y'all. See, I didn't come on the internet demonetized. Like, I came on the internet, because I didn't like the narrative that was being spun on black people. It was being spun, yo. When the internet first really started taking off, people making a lot of money spending false narratives, stereotypes. I was one of the people that came on and tried to refute that shit. You feel me? But there's no real money in the truth. The money is in stereotypes. The money is in lies. This right now, what we saying now should effectively end this black on black crime conversation. It shouldn't even be a thing no more. Because we see, since everybody's eyes is open. Motherfuckers ain't sleep no more. Motherfuckers' eyes is open, and whether they admit it or not, we see that it's a problem just with crime in America in general. You know what I mean? Crime is an American thing. You feel me? No snitch rule is an American thing. We like to put it on the streets. It ain't about the fucking streets, man. It's built into the fabric of society. You know what I mean? You see what America do to rats. Don't respect them. Get them out of here. And rest peace to the side of Shakur too, man. You got the cash passed out dude talking about she don't need to be celebrated. Man, shit. Yeah, the fuck she do. There was a war going on back then between the Black Panthers and the United States government. Because black people and the Black Panthers didn't like how the United States government was treating black people. They got pulled over, got in a shootout with the police. She said her hands was up. She ain't shoot nobody. But you know how that shit go. You know what I mean? If you was there, you get charged with the murder. Got locked up there 2 years. Black Panthers broke her out of jail. Broke her out of jail. And she went to fucking Cuba. I think that deserves respect. What the fuck he talking about? His dumbass. Dumbass niggas. Y'all would love to talk to some of these people, y'all. I'll make them. You got all these people making laws on what's going on and speaking on black people, but they ain't never lit it, yo. That should be a crime in itself. It should be a crime, yo, to speak on a community that you ain't from. Or try to have solutions in a community that you ain't from. That should be a fucking crime in America. If everything was fair, if everything made sense. Yo, because that's the definition of stupidity. The definition of stupidity is speaking on shit that you know nothing about. But this been going on for this country for a long ass time. What you mean conspiracy? That's what happened. It's not a conspiracy. What the fuck is you talking about? What I just said that was a conspiracy? Aside Shakur, that's what happened. It's not a conspiracy. People who speaking on the black community that know nothing about it, that's a fact. We see it all the time. I was doing it. Charlie Kirk did it. Ben Shapiro does it. All these people do it. Hodge twins. Like, you can't speak on nothing you don't know about, man. And then people talking about, yeah, that's facts. That's facts. Yo, no. What you talk? Yo, that's ignorance. Yo, I'm gonna do a live this weekend, and we're gonna talk about this shit. See, but the only thing is, when I do them lives that way, YouTube doesn't allow me to be seen. They don't send out notifications. So that's why I always do lives this way. But yo, we do lives where you can call in, motherfuckers, and get on live. Motherfuckers don't never want to do it. Yo, it's not about what you see, yo. You know, your eyes can be tricked. You know, the hand is quicker than the eye, bro. It's not about what you see. That just sounds stupid. Because at the end of the day, you're only saying what they allow you to see. If you're not from these communities, you're not saying the full scope of what's going on. You're just saying what they want you to see. What the fuck they call that shit, man? It's a saying for that shit. Yeah, that's why she was around. I know, that's why they charged her. You know, but they don't always do that, man. You know, they got pics with that shit. I done cover stories where a motherfucker was around a crime and didn't get charged for the murder. Oh man, look at Leroy, he's just racist. Leroy, I think you need to get a lot more to worry about than black people, bro. I don't think black people's the issue right now. I think radicalization is. And that shit is happening in your streets, in your community. So be safe, fuck boy. Be safe. Yeah, put your bulletproof vest on when you come out. Shit vicious. Bulletproof helmet. They aiming for throats and heads and shit. Don't go to. Be careful going to church. They might run in that bitch. Clown. See? You see what I'm saying? It's a clown right there. But no, yo, you can't. So he is saying it's not my responsibility to tell my own people to get their shit together, then turn around and say, and no one else look at my people. Who the fuck said that? Yeah, who the fuck said that? Did it ever come out my mouth that it's not my responsibility to tell my people to get their own shit together? I never said that. I think that's what you said. Yo, I think black people is doing awesome. You understand? Yo, do you know how hard it is to come out of some of these communities? People make it out, man. Contrary to what the media portrays, people do make it out. But like I told y'all, it's about percentages and averages and odds and chance. You understand? I can make your environment so hard for you that I can almost dictate the percentage of people that's gonna make it out versus who not. You do know that, right? Do y'all know that? Didn't we learn that in science? Like, do we gotta go back to the science conversation again? I can make your environment so tough that I can almost dictate the percentage of people that's gonna make it out. You can do that. How do y'all think they come up with statistics? 1 out of 3 black kids is gonna go to jail before the age of 18 or 21 or whatever. How do you think they come up with this shit? They do studies, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, y'all just want to be dumb and ignorant. And some of y'all got great jobs, living a good life, educated. But why don't y'all apply that education to what's happening in the world? It's like y'all don't apply it. I'm not talking to you, Evan. I don't know what you said. Like, my bad. I don't know what you said. I'm talking to Mr. whatever his name is. I can't see it. But he be over here a lot, though. So you keep coming back, though. I appreciate that. Yeah, yo, it's controlled environment, Paul. Hamster wheel. Yeah, man. Like, it's a controlled environment, man. I can dictate you, man. I can tell you what you go. I can almost. What it looks like to me is the object is with how it's constructed in the black community is they don't want you to own no guns legally. So you're in an environment where it's damn near kill or be killed. Some of these environments is treacherous, y'all. I don't know if y'all know that or not. Motherfuckers is dying daily. So you're in an environment where it's damn near kill or be killed. You might walk to school. You might hang outside with your friends. Eventually, it gets to a point where I need me a firearm to protect myself. Not to kill nobody, but just to protect myself. So you get locked up with that firearm. Now you can't own firearms for the rest of your life. In some states. Well, yeah, in some states. You gotta get a pardon from the governor. What's the odds of that? But you still in this environment. You still on this block. You still in this neighborhood. Now your first gun charge is a misdemeanor. But they take your rights away. So the next time you get caught, now they talking prison time. It's just a way to keep the cycle going. You know what I mean? We always gonna keep that door open. Yeah, it's just another way to keep that cycle going. But I'd rather get caught with it than without it. To be honest. But why people have to make that decision? Why does the decision have to be jail or death? Yo, that's a fucked up situation. They always say you got options, but what if those are your options? What if your options is jail or death? What you gonna pick? If your options is jail or death, which one you gonna pick, mister? Is either one of those good options? Like I say, yo, everybody like, yo, you got choices, yo, but some people's choices are limited. You know what I mean? Like, it might be the motherfucker, it might be the stairs or the motherfucking steps. I mean, the steps or the motherfucking roof. But yeah, it's a choice. But if you fall off either one of them, you're going to fuck something up. You might got a better chance of surviving to fall down the steps, but shit, you still going to be damaged. You might break something, you might twist an ankle or something. There's a revolving door. We have to stop thinking it's a because it is a systematic issue. It don't matter if we stop thinking it or not. Yo, the statistics says it's a systematic issue. Yo, have y'all seen the videos of the black family trying to sell their house? It's videos of this. Have y'all, hey mister, did you look them up? The black family gets their home appraised, and then they get lowballed on a home. So then what they do is they take all their pictures out and make a white family sell the same home. Yo, do you see how the price went up like 300,000? The fuck is you talking about, man? No, it's not. It's just facts. Yo, come on, you ready to piss me off, yo? I'm ready to get you on live so we can talk about it. Have you seen that? Look it up. If you think I'm making it up, look it up. Look up who gets these minority loans. Look it up. All this is public. You can look these things up, yo, and stop and don't be ignorant. If you really want to know, look them up. You feel me? I ain't making nothing up, yo. Everything I say can be proven. Like, I don't know what y'all think this is, yo. Maybe because I don't look like Jesse Jackson or one of them fuck boys. You think I just be talking? No, I know what I'm talking about, man. I know what I'm talking about. Look it up. It is systematic. It always been systematic. Always. Now, it's still, even with it being systematic, it's still people that get out of it. Because that's just percentage-wise. That's the odds. That's the chance. You know, we're going to make it hard, but it's going to be some people that slide through the cracks. Everybody not going to fail. But that's the game. Yo, so did you see the videos? So you haven't, look up the videos and come back. Matter of fact, I'll look it up for you. Since you don't want to, I will give you the truth. Black family lowballed on sale of home and bring white family in. Here you go. Since you want to be a dumbass, you just want, you don't want to look it up yourself. So I got you. Don't even worry about it.
With FNB, you get better banking no matter where or when. Can your bank do that? This 4-bedroom.
Just want to be stupid.
Pennsylvania, vote yes to fair judges, yes to safe abortion, yes to retain our court on November 4th.
Wait, you gave yourself a flu vaccine?
At your house? Wow. This 4-bedroom home in the hills of Marin, north of San Francisco, offers lots of light, water views, a school right down the hill.
So the house you stay in right here.
Owners Paul Austin and Tanisha Tate Austin knew it was worth at least $1.3 million based on a 2019 appraisal. But looking to borrow as the housing market heated up, Paul met a new appraiser and showed her around.
Hey, what was the number value? You open up that piece of paper and what is it?
Oh, $998,000.
Less than $1 million.
Less than $1 million.
Which means almost $400,000 less than
yes.
the appraisal you got a year earlier.
Yes.
And so they applied for a new appraisal, but this time
I'm going to guarantee that I'm going to get the appraisal that my house is supposed to get.
And in the United States, what is your best guarantee of getting the best rate possible?
Being white.
Being white. So they worked to erase themselves from their own home.
All of our art, took that away, pictures of our family, anything that, would resemble that this home belongs to a black family. Just grabbed it all, put it all in the shed, put it all away.
And they asked a white friend to stand in when the new appraiser arrived.
So this time you open the paper and it says what?
1.482.
Yes. $500,000 difference.
Imagine what that money can do for a family. That's seed money for a business. That's a second home you could rent out. That's college tuition. Now,
this not the first, this not the only family, bro. Now I apologize, fuck boy. Yo, I don't just be over this bitch talking, man. I can put up more videos. Fuck you, man. That ain't systematically done, dumbass. See, that's why I get pissed off with y'all, yo, because you're willfully ignorant. You understand? You want to be ignorant. You want to be stupid. You want to be slow. You don't want the real information, man, because it's right there. Google it. It's right in front of your face. You want to be ignorant, man.
Imagine this whole community misses out on those opportunities. It shows that this is a far larger problem than this one address.
Carla Duffy, a homeowner in Indianapolis, told NBC's Priscilla Thompson about using a similar tactic.
I met with two of my girlfriends. Both are married to white men, and I was like, okay, I need to borrow one of y'all husbands.
Her appraisal came back at double the value. A survey of studies of racial disparities in the U.S. mortgage market found that discrimination inhibits upward social mobility of minorities and exacerbates large racial disparities in wealth because home equity is crucial for building wealth. In fact, this community, known as Marin City, was held back for decades. When Paul's family moved here from the South to work in the shipyards, redlining meant it was the only place in the area where African Americans were allowed to buy a home, while white residents could buy and sell anywhere. Today, Marin City's median income is less than $30,000 a year. Neighboring Mill Valley, a mile away, is nearly 3 times that.
In theory, this home should have been your family's escape from that history.
Yes. Right. Yes. Like, we shouldn't had to repeat what my grandparents had to go through, 50 plus years ago. It's frustrating because we're not as far along in America as we think we are.
The original appraiser did not respond to our request for comment. By the time the Austins got the new appraisal, interest rates and terms meant they couldn't borrow the money they wanted, and they're now suing.
Just the process of appraising is a system that creates inequity in our country.
How do we change the system? Will our story be a catalyst to changing, the system that's negatively affecting Black and brown people every day?
Tom, Paul and Tanisha say that their lawsuit is about the money lost as they were waiting for a second appraisal, but they also say it's about reforming a system that puts the dream of intergenerational wealth into the hands of a possibly biased person. Tom?
So true. Jacob Ward with...
Come on, man. Where the fuck you at now? Also, how do we know that this... Oh, my gosh. There we go. Moving the goalposts. Gee, Christmas. Google it yourself, y'all. God damn, y'all. Like, that's why I say y'all hypocrites, man. I can't do this shit with y'all, man. Y'all don't want to know the truth. It's gonna be another mass shoot. It's gonna be more white on white violence happening in this country. Till y'all start accepting that Black people was telling y'all the truth the whole time. Cause that's what this is all about. Yeah, we've been telling y'all the truth the whole fucking time. And y'all call this victim mentality, and you complaining. Nah, fuck boy. We just lived it. We know how this shit work. Because you now you blaming the publication. Now you talking about information might not be right. It's left wing. Google it. Find out yourself. Pull up some mortgage documents. All this shit public records. Find out yourself. Find out who's the poor applies and how much homes are being sold for. God damn. There must be ain't no work today. What the fuck is everybody doing at the job? The fuck is this? They having a meeting or something? Fucking crazy. Yo, but Google it yourself. Yeah, Paul. Come on, Paul. Come on with the racism. We don't do racism, We have dialogue. Now we can talk shit. We don't do racism, Everybody got reparations. Jews got reparations too. Everybody got reparations except for Black people. All Black people got is held back. Explain, Paul. You say we got reparation in the form of what? Please explain. All this country has been doing is holding black people back. All this country has been doing was holding black people back. They do it every so often. About every 20, 30 years, they're gonna come with some new drug. With some new, like switches. Where the fuck the switches come from? I remember when people had 38s. I mean, I remember people still had revolvers. Nowadays, motherfuckers got switches, man. I don't think we got factories in the United States where in the black community where we can make when we put switches on firearms. I mean, no, I don't think that's what we do. Oh, all right, Paul, my bad. What's up, bro? God damn.
Fucking very weird to see 133 here.
What the fuck is going on here?
It's fucking dead. That's what's going on.
God damn.
Y'all have a good day. Hey, you too.
I thought it was a motherfucking meeting in this bitch. I thought it was a meeting I wasn't a part of or something.
How do you like that truck?
I don't.
You like your gas or don't you?
I like it better than this one. I like the international I had. Oh yeah, though, man. Hey yo, you in denial, bro. You must believe in this country. You believe in free speech too? Hey, Mr. Killjoy, do you believe in free speech? Do you believe in the founding fathers? You believe in Santa Claus, Easter Bunny? What else you believe in, man? Tooth Fairy? Still believe in the Tooth Fairy? I think those two Marines believed in the United States and was patriotic as well. Something happened. I wonder what happened to them. I wonder what happened to the people that was willing to lay their life on the line for this country. I wonder what changed, you know. What changed? Yeah, I don't even know what that means, man. You see what I'm saying? Your words mean something, y'all. You gotta be careful with the words you use. Do I think America is probably the best country in the world? Yeah. But do I think America got some issues? Yeah. Do I think America did some fucked up things to black people intentionally? Yeah. Why all those three things? Why all that can't be true? Why everything I said can't be true? You understand what I'm saying? Why do we gotta pick and choose? Why can't I say America is the best country here, but America fuck black people over? Why both those can't be true? That's what I don't understand. What's up, good vibes? I asked you a question, Mr. Killjoy. Hold up, y'all. I gotta switch my shit back over. Cause I ain't going back out that bitch. Hold on, y'all. I ain't doing that. I ain't going out that bitch. Don't say racism. You crazy motherfucker, bro. Was guns and drugs put into more community? You know, was economic resources snatched away? Was their school system diminished to fucking nothing? Like, what are you talking about, man? Come on, we ain't gotta call names. Nigga, Killjoy is tripping, man. Yeah, everything I said can be looking up. All you got, if you want the information, look it up. You don't gotta believe me. Right. Equal rights bill got passed in 1968. Yeah, I told y'all they've been running the play on the black community since the 60s. Since the 60s. Listen to this. Listen to this. Malcolm X. Brother Malcolm. That's why I fucking Malcolm X, y'all. I ain't no real Martin Luther King guy. I fucking Malcolm X. Trapper, what's up? I was looking at this speech yesterday. Liberals versus conservatives.
In this crooked game of power politics here in America, the Negro, namely the race problem, integration, civil rights issue, are all nothing but tools used by the whites who call themselves liberals against another group of whites who call themselves conservatives, either to get into power or to retain power. Among whites here,
it's a money game. Didn't I just tell y'all that a couple of days? It's a money game, man. As long as they got, and like I tell you, Killjoy, I don't know if you was on that live. Yo, I'll beef ain't with you. Yeah, babe, I'll beef with the government. Y'all really in the way, man. Killjoy, you in the way. You in the way, and the people that think like you are in the way. Yeah, man, y'all in the way of real progress, man. Cause we don't got no beef with y'all. Y'all ain't did shit. I mean, but uphold the racist values. But y'all don't even know that's what y'all doing. Because the media then tricked y'all into believing that you know what you talking about, and I'm wrong. The media then tricked you into believing that you know more about what's going on in the black community than me. Yeah, but that makes sense to you? You're upholding the government? The government. Yo, you just say you was upholding the government, y'all. Do you know how dirty the government is? Like, that just sounds stupid in itself. You should be ashamed of that. Yo, don't say that out loud, man. Yo, if that's how you truly feel, yo, keep that shit to yourself. Cause that just sounds stupid to me.
here in America, the political teams are no longer divided into Democrats and Republicans. The whites who are now struggling for control of the American political throne are divided into liberal and conservative camps. The white liberals from both parties cross party lines to work together.
You should. Just like look at these people crashing out. All of them is patriotic. Yeah, man. Yo, they running in schools. What the fuck is a bee in this building? Yo, they running in schools and killing innocent kids because they patriotic, bro. Ain't that why they doing it? Ain't patriotism the reason why they doing these mass shootings and these isn't politically motivated violence done by patriots? I mean, I don't. What's the dude? Timothy McVeigh. Was Timothy McVeigh patriotic? You know what Timothy McVeigh? You know why he blew up them bombs? Why he blew up them federal buildings? Because of the internet. The internet. He knew he didn't like the direction that the country was going. That man blew up federal buildings. Was that patriotic? Is Edward Snowden patriotic? Like, yo, think of what you say. You sound fucking stupid, yo. Like, yo, y'all can't have it. I'm not one of them. I'm asking you. If you was to ask him, he would say, yo, he would say that I'm patriotic. A lot of them are extremists, though. Evan. That's the thing. A lot of them are extremists. That's why you got far left and far right. They are doing what they're doing based off their patriotism. Killjoy.
Toward the same goal. And white conservatives from both parties do likewise. The white liberal differs from the white conservative only in one way. The liberal is more deceitful, more hypocritical than the conservative. Both want power, but the white liberal is the one who has perfected the art of posing as the Negro's friend and benefactor. And by winning the friendship and support of the Negro, the white liberal is able to use the Negro as a pawn or a weapon in this political football game that is constantly...
So I'm going out. Appreciate it. Right. Alright, let's go back.
Camps. The white liberals from both parties cross party lines to work together toward the same goal. And white conservatives from both parties do likewise. The white liberal differs from the white conservative only in one way. The liberal is more deceitful, more hypocritical than the conservative. Both want power, but the white liberal is the one who has perfected the art of posing as the Negro's friend and benefactor. And by winning the friendship and support of the Negro, the white liberal is able to use the Negro as a pawn or a weapon in this political football game that is constantly raging between the white liberals and the white conservatives. The American Negro is nothing but a political football, and the white liberals control this ball through tricks or tokenism, false promises of integration and civil rights. In this game of deceiving and using the American Negro, the white liberals have complete cooperation of the Negro civil rights leader, who sell our people out for a few crumbs of token recognition, token gains,
Jesse Jackson,
token progress. In the New York Tribune, in an editorial dated February the 5th, 1960, they pointed out that out of 11 million qualified Negro voters, only 2,700,000 actually take time to vote. This means that, roughly speaking, only 3 million out of the 11 million Negroes who are qualified to vote take an active part. And the remaining 8 million remain voluntarily inactive. And yet it is this small minority, the 3 million Negro voters, who help determine who will be the next president. If who will be the next president can be influenced by 3 million Negro voters, it is easy to see why the presidential candidates of both political parties put on such a false show with the Civil Rights Bill and promises of integration. They must impress the 3 million voting Negroes who are the actual integration seekers. And if so much fuss is made over these 3 million integration seekers, what would the presidential candidates have to do to appease the 8 million non-voting Negroes if they ever decided to become politically active? They hold the balance of power. Who are the 8 million non-voting Negroes? What do they want? And why don't they vote? The 3 million Negro voters are the so-called middle-class Negroes, or high-class Negroes, or uppity Negroes, who are referred to by the late Howard University sociology professor E. Franklin Frazier as the black bourgeoisie, who have been educated to think as patriotic individualists with no racial pride whatsoever, who believe in and look forward to the future integrated, intermarried society that is constantly being promised to them by the Negro politician. And therefore, this integration-minded 3 million minority remain an active part of the white-controlled political parties. But it must never be overlooked that these 3 million Negro integration seekers are only a small minority of the 11 million qualified Negro voters. The 8 million non-voting Negroes are the majority, the downtrodden black masses. They have refused to vote. They've refused to take a part.
I just be trying to keep it real with people, man. So people stop living a lie. Now, I don't think you got a deep hatred. I just think that you just been fed false information. And like I said, you know, people, it's hard for people, you know, when you've been told a lie your whole life, it's hard when you start hearing the truth to accept it as the truth. You know what I mean? More than likely, you're going to accept it as, you're going to, you know, you're going to look at the truth like it's a lie. That's what I think. I don't think it's hatred. I just think you just don't know. And typically, when you don't know things, you should listen instead of speaking. You know what I mean? When you speak on things you don't know, it comes off as ignorant. It comes off as ignorant. You said that it wasn't systematic. I just showed you it was systematic. Hold on, y'all. I gotta log out. I gotta log out this app. Hold up. This probably take like. Hold on. I showed you it was systematic, at least with the housing market. But we can go on and on for days about the systematic things that was done. You know. Hold on. Yeah, y'all. I showed you it was systematic. We know crack cocaine was put into the black community. We know this. So how can you say, now how can you know some of these things and say that it ain't systematic? We know some of these things, man. I showed y'all about the how they created the wealth gap. Yesterday, we talked about that. I think that was yesterday. They did that through legislation. Alright, hold on. Let me do this real quick. Alright, we back. Alright, we back. I'm just saying, y'all. Gotta keep it real one day, y'all. And I think this is the perfect time to keep it real. Because we seeing all this violence, this white on white violence going on. And now people don't want to characterize it as white on white violence. People just want to say it's a crime issue. But that's not what people said. Historically, people didn't do that. Historically, people said it was a black on black issue. Historically, that's what people said, man. When we've been saying, no, hell no, this shit ain't no black on. Some of us even believed it. No, I believed it for a while. You know what I mean? Till you recognize that shit was a lie. It's hard. It's hard for people to come to grips with being lied to, man. That's just with any situation. That's in life. That's in relationships. That's in politics. That's at work. It's hard for people to come to grips with a lie. It's much easier to just agree. You know what I mean? It's much easier to just agree with the lie, live the lie, and act like the truth don't exist. It's easier thing. It's an easier thing to deal with. Easier concept to accept. You know, mentally. You know what I mean? But I tried to tell y'all, man, about all this motherfucking crime that was going on. And I told y'all weeks ago, Killjoy, you was here. I told y'all weeks ago that white on white radicalism was a crime, was an issue, and y'all ignored it. And now we got damn near 10 dead people in a day because y'all want to act like it didn't exist. Yeah, but I'm ready to get off this live, y'all. I'm ready to see the fuck going on at work. Probably try to go live later. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new. Another day, keep it mute.